Hello and welcome back to the Dota 2 Asian Championship here on HeflaTV. Without missing a beat, we're going to be rotating straight out from the Mineski series into Immortal Magneto against Kansai Whips. It's going to be a best of two with Grandis V and Mr. Blackadder as your casters, and well,
I think we're just going to have to keep rolling with the punches. We've had some cracker games lately, and we're not getting any breaks either, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to cut any slack. So, here up, Immortal Magneto Gaming, which I'm going to let you introduce, Grandis, versus Kansai Whips. Bands out, we've got Tidehunter banned, Batrider banned, Death Prophets removed, and there will be no Brewmasters either. First pick was the Naga Siren for Kansai Whips. And on the flip side of the coin for Immortal Magneto Gaming, we have Skywrath Mage and Ember Spirit.
yeah, for the most part, we've seen Naga Siren get banned out throughout this entire day, and it is going to be the first Naga of the day, and should be a core Naga at that since it has been picked up so early. The Skywrath Mage Ember Spirit combination for Immortal Magneto is going to be pretty standard fare for them, and works decently well at catching out a Naga Siren, having ways to stop her from getting off the song, with the songs coming up from Skywrath Mage and a decent amount of damage, and as well as the cleave to mop up the illusions. Still, we have nothing definitive about this game already set in stone after quite a lot of reserve time being spent. Very quick first pick and first two picks. And, well, for now, it's going to be Kansai Whips, considering this next choice, and it's going to be a Queen of Pain.
Oh, I love this. Naga Siren is going to most likely be a core, yes. It means she's going to be farming, yes. It means we're going to see late game farm Radiance, yes. However, this does mean it's 4 protect 1. And if there's any lineup that can fight very aggressively, especially after buffs, it's a Queen of Pain mid. I'm going to enjoy this one. Queen of Pain will be up against Ember Spirit most likely in the mid lane matchup. We have a support Skywrath Mage who's going to be the arch enemy of this Queen of Pain, but Skywrath Mage is also very squishy, so if Queen of Pain can get the jump in first, I expect carnage. And honestly, we can keep rolling with the punches and just roll off the energy of the cast if we keep getting games like that.
Oh, definitely. Well, let's see. As far as the next couple bands are concerned, I'd expect Vengeful Spirit to be taken out by Immortal Magneto, just one of the top tier supports that Kansai Whips would probably like to have at their disposal. But definitely, should be interesting to see. But for now, Magneto are eating through pretty much the entirety of their reserve time in this next banning stage. They're going to settle on a Broodmother ban. More than anything, just a really annoying hero to deal with.
And that'll be returned by Kansai Whips with the Faceless Void removal. I can completely understand this, and there goes the Axe once again. Axe getting a lot of hate in the last 2 games. Then again, he seems to be Flavor of the Month lately, so I can certainly understand that.
For sure. The Lion ban as well from Kansai Whips is going to secure Naga Siren a little bit more time, but Mortal Magneto gonna go full greed with the Medusa as well as the Ember Spirit on the same team, and it's something that you can do, especially if Kansai Whips are feeling like they want to slow down the pace of this game for the Naga Siren, but this opens them up to go super aggressive. Maybe you just run this Naga Siren as a support and just try to mow them down, and they'll follow that up with a Magnus. Both teams really barreling through these next couple of picks.
I think this is the first Magnus game we've cast in quite a while, but consider this. RP into Stone Gaze, positioning the Medusa so everyone gets caught, and then onto all of those stoned targets, Sleight of Fist, Battle Fury.
Yes, it's quite something, and even without the Battle Fury, just having the Empower on the Ember Spirit is more than enough to really make that
Good
hero
point.
sting.
I completely forgot about Empower. We're going to have King of Crits and King of Cleave, I believe, in this game from the Ember, if we're going to be seeing Battle Fury into a Daedalus, of course. But now we get a Nyx Assassin. Did someone throw out the meta rulebook?
I don't think so. Nyx Assassin, I quite like it. It allowed them to look for really aggressive pickoffs, and up against the Dusa as well as Skywrath Mage, having a mana burn is going to be a really useful tool at their disposal. I think it's definitely warranted.
Don't get me wrong. I like this. Nyx is a good hero for this, and his mana warfare up against Medusa. But Medusa, Magnus, Nyx, these heroes haven't been seen in a while.
I don't know. It really depends on which teams you're actually watching. They get spotted every once in a while, but definitely has been a while since I've cast a Nyx. At least a couple of weeks. Darkseer, the last ban, I think, is probably the More interesting one. Definitely throwbacks to a previous time. I'm kind of feeling they're going to lane this Nyx as a support, however. Just follow up Sun after the Vengeful Spirit, and he'll still be able to offer most of that utility.
Yeah, I can certainly see that. And with the Ogre bans and a DAC Asia ban, oh, I see. I see. We're going to go into the final picks, and for Immortal Magneto, I'm thinking it's the Ember mid, offlane Magnus, Medusa, and Skywrath going to be up on that safe lane. So we're looking for another support or a jungle style support. Chen wouldn't go amiss. Enchantress could work. However, part of me wants to say if you've invested in Teamfight, go the whole way, and there we go. Disruptor. I was looking for something with a large silence that can really capitalize off the back of a reverse polarity. Static Storm does exactly that.
Yeah, I really like this Disruptor pick here. I think it works pretty well with what Immortal Magneto are already bringing to the table, and I think going for a jungle support is probably just a little too greedy for them to actually pull it off. As far as CsW's the last pick, that one's a little bit more elusive. There's nothing that immediately comes to mind that they really need to pull together their lineup. It really depends on how they want to go about playing this.
How do you respond to this, though? What do you pick to go against this? Because you've already got the Queen of Pain, which is susceptible to the glimpses, I suppose. So we're going to look for an early BKB after maybe the Orchid on the Queen. You've got the Vengeful Spirit swaps, I suppose, is going to be quite nice to get someone out of, say, Static Storm. Nyx Assassin's going to be looking to hunt and kill that Disruptor as much as humanly possible. Same for the Skywrath. But safe lane, I called it for the wrong team. We have the Enigma. This is going to be a game. Team fight versus team fight. And now we get Godot with Black Hole available. This is going to be fun.
It definitely should be. There's a lot of potential for some really big plays. Usually, sitting on a Naga Siren in the late game is something that can be pretty comfortable, but not against Immortal Magneto's lineup, and yeah, it's gonna be down to how they're able to utilize those big cooldown ultimates. RP and Black Hole gonna be pretty key, and also the rotations from the Nyx Assassin, something to keep an eye out for.
And Christ, I know I've been casting a long time when I can get sunlight behind me. Sunlight. Christ, long evening of casting, and we've got many, many hours to go still, so let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Definitely. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get everybody inside this game shortly. Looks like Immortal Magneto are going to have a little bit more time, and I suppose I'm going to go ahead and introduce Immortal Magneto. I am going to mispronounce names, and I am going to miscall these names because it's absolutely a pain. That said, we are going to have, I believe... Oh my goodness, I can actually see behind the pause thing. SimVV is going to be playing on the Medusa. I'm sorry, I butchered that one. That one's terrible. As far as the other players, we are going to have 11, who's going to be playing on the hero that's yet to actually be dropped into this game. And, my goodness, I completely lost my train of thought.
Give it a second, reboot, clear your head. I'll introduce CsW.
There we go. That sounds good.
Right, I actually can't. Give me a second. I actually just lost the ability to move my camera because we're casting off ticket, aren't we? Son of a bitch. Right. For Can't Say Wisps, once I manage to reconnect, we will get this underway. I need to unbind that. Now I can do things. Right. For Can't Say Wisps, we do have Chains handling the Naga Siren. We've got Godot on the Enigma. Musica handling the Queen of Pain. 2D on the Nyx Assassin. And finally Extinct on the Vengeful Spirit. And one thing I will say for this lineup, they need a much better early game than we've seen for 2D in the last two games we've cast, since 2D has had a thoroughly unpleasant time in the last few rounds when it comes to heroes he's played in the offlane. I mean, I believe we had 2 games where he played Tidehunter, and both times he was up against Anti-Mage, Vengeful Spirit, and he just did not have fun at all.
Definitely. Well, it's going to be 11 playing on the Magnus. As far as the Disruptor as well as the Ember Spirit's name, it's either Yihawei or Marcy. I'm not exactly sure which is which, so I'll just throw that out that that's who they are. James is going to be playing on the 5th year of 4 Immortal Magneto, which is going to be their secondary support that completely eludes me. What did they actually pick?
For their last hero, they had the Disruptor, they had Magnus. They were looking for something clear. Wow, now you've got me at it. What did they pick? Their other support, it was...
This is embarrassing, my goodness.
Well, we've been at this for, what, 5-6 hours? We'll roll... Actually, what's the duration of the Skype call? 5 hours, 20 minutes. Cut us some slack.
It's not even the 5 hours, 20 minutes. It's when that 5 hours is. It's actually 4 in the morning.
Yeah, 4 in the morning for you, and I got up at 4 in the morning here, so, yeah. We roll with it, though. We will happily suffer for the art of casting. Wow, what was it? There it was,
Mage.
Of course, it's a Skyrath.
It's always a Skyrath Mage.
Yes, it's
Okay.
always the bloody Skyrath. God damn it. I should have realised when I... Right. Let's get this show on the road. Grandis, I suppose we have to do the formalities. What team are you betting on?
I really like Immortal Magneto's lineup. I think just the easier one to actually execute, less reliant on the cooldowns. RP is a lot easier to work around than Black Hole, and Naga Siren, she's going to be playing a very dangerous game up against Immortal Magneto's lineup. A lot of ways to clear out those illusions, and really has to hit the window hard when she gets that farm.
I can understand that logic. I'm going to bet on CsW as a sort of contrast here. Late game Naga Siren, we all know how painful that can be. You've got Queen of Pain there for burst damage. You've got the Enigma for team fight, and Enigma is going to be the counter initiator here. You've got everyone going to be grouping up for the RP, for the Disruptor, Static Storm. You've got, of course, Skyrath Mage, Medusa. They're all going to look to get close. Black Hole, counter initiation, right there to punish it. That's what I reckon is going to happen this game.
Definitely. We'll have to see who's going to get the better half of that, at least for this early minutes of the game. We are going to see the contention for the early bounty runes, and it looks like Immortal Magneto are going to abuse the fact that they have that Roshan vision inside there. They can help out this Magnus at a moment's notice. If Queen of Pain actually shows that she's leveled up anything other than Blink, easy kill going away for Immortal Magneto. And even if she does go for Blink, if she uses it prematurely, could be in a whole heap of trouble. Silenced up, the Shockwave, they just need a little bit more damage, and one more pulse of Disruptors. Damage over time is going to be enough to bring down First Blood.
That's going to be quite advantageous for IMG, and if they can keep that kind of aggressive play out of the supports, I will change my bet in favour of them. But, well, as long as I see aggression, I'm happy. I just want an aggressive game, and these supports can certainly accomplish that. But then again, I'm going to take a quick look at the other lanes. We've got Godot going to be playing the Enigma, going to be dual laning with 2D, which surprises me slightly. Then again, both of these heroes are capable of solo offlaning. Together, they actually might be able to kill one of the supports with a bit of mana warfare and, of course, Eidolons. Eidolons being all important in this game. And unfortunately, we're getting a bit of a lag, or at least I am, Perfect World server-wise, so bear with me for a moment, Grandis.
I am too. I really don't like this decision coming out from Kensei Whips. I don't think they're going to be able to get enough out of the Eidolon Harass onto the Ember Spirit and what have you, to make up for the fact that Enigma is not going to be farming, or not going to be farming as fast as he would be inside the jungle. I think just throwing the Enigma towards the jungle would be a lot better for their team in general.
Part of it, I think, when we've got an Enigma, it's partly a mind game, because you could have the threat of the enemy warding out all the camps in the jungle. We see it on occasion. So this, sure, it's less gold per minute, we'll say, but it's a bit more reliable on the fact that he can come up here and he can at least guarantee some farm, and he can, of course, help out the Nyx. This combination, I say, can get kills, and I suppose experience-wise, you'll get a fast level 6 in the jungle, but in this case, the stuns can overlap. They can get the early points of Midnight Pulse, perhaps, and get Demonic Conversion going. Look, just for physical harass on the Ember, which is something that you sort of need, considering he is quite tanky up against magical harass. Then again, on the other lanes, we've got some problems for Chains. He's in that middle lane, and he's actually going toe-to-toe with a Medusa, so he's going to be punished a little bit heavily here, considering Mystic Snake harass. It's not the mid lane I expected.
In the meantime, Magnus going to die as he skewers himself up towards the cliff up here, potentially looking for a T-word. Not exactly sure how that went down. He is going to be dropped. In the meantime, the lanes are going to be pretty static outside of that, and we are going to have the dreaded pause that we have been dealing with for the most of the duration of this tournament and for this day as well. G comes out, and it looks like we are good to go.
It seems to be our arch enemy tonight, the dreaded pause. But nonetheless, I'm going to be keeping my eyes on the top lane. I reckon this will be the most kill-centric lane outside of, say, ganks on the bottom lane. Speaking of bottom lane, you've got Magnus leeching experience there, trying to at least get something while Musica farms away. And I did not expect a safe lane co-op and a mid lane Naga. I personally thought, okay, let the Naga get some safe lane farm, let her get an early Radiance, get that relic money, and just from there it will be business as normal. But in this case, Queen of Pain, this will guarantee her an early Orchid, and with an early Orchid, you can accomplish quite a bit as a Queen of Pain. Just rotation and ganks, mainly on that Medusa before she can get any Stone Gaze off, or more importantly, on the support / Ember on the top lane.
Yeah, and I think that's really where this Queen of Pain needs to set herself apart. If she doesn't get that early Orchid, and if she doesn't make use of that early Orchid, more importantly, things are going to be problematic for Kansei Whips. As far as the farming situation in the mid lane, it's just as good as what she would be getting in the safe lane, or thereabouts. Medusa, although having the range advantage in this lane, can't stop Nagasiren from farming. And with the bottle spam coming out from Chains, it should be pretty standard. I'm still not really feeling this offlane Enigma, though. It's not doing anything. He's soaking experience for the next, which is probably more detrimental than anything. I think Godot, after maybe the first wave, probably should have just gone straight off into the jungle, seeing that things really weren't working in his favor.
Yeah, he's going to have to get that black hole online as soon as humanly possible. Well, we could be looking for a kill here, actually. Do we have enough for a Malefice? No, we don't. They need to finish off the Disruptor in this case. One more right click from Chains could accomplish that, but he needs to get close enough. Can he get it? Yes, he can with the Riptide. Instead, we've got a bit of a counter initiation going on to Godot from the Ember Spirit. Do we have a stun coming out of 2D? Yes, we do, but he dodges it with the Sleight of Fist and will ensure the kill. So a 1-for-1 support for a support in this case, since the Enigma is not jungle-based.
Yeah, a pretty standard kill, or rather, not standard, but a very even trade for both sides. Giving a kill to Nagasiren probably about as bad as giving a kill over towards the Ember Spirit. They'll look again towards 2D, silenced up, they'll chain him down. He does have the Carapace to stun everybody involved, but the damage is too much. One more Sleight of Fist, going to secure it for 2D, and well, in the meantime, they also get a kill on the Magnus, so both offlaners not having a grand time. That's going to be one picked up for Musica without even needing to use the ulti.
This actually surprises me. Take a look at the Ember Spirit's build. He's opting for points of Searing Chains and Sleight of Fist instead of the Flame Guard that we would normally expect. So he's going to have a very, very early Sleight of Fist harassment ability, in which we've seen that securing him 2 kills already.
Definitely, and it is very, very peculiar. When it was first released into Captain's Mode, was one of the more popular builds, but since has been nerfed, and really the more standard way to play him is just to abuse that Flame Guard, and he's deciding against it this game. It is going to allow him, once he gets Battle Fury, to farm up a little bit faster and maybe do a little bit more physical damage. I'm not sure if I'm entirely on board with it, but well, for now it's paying off. He got 2 kills with it, and you can't really argue when something that you're doing gets you 2 kills.
Yeah, he's getting value out of his decision, which I think is ultimately what we were looking for. And Godot has rotated in the jungle now. I don't know if he was just wary of sentry wards in his jungle for the first few minutes without actually checking for it, or if there was some kind of other tactical decision to be made, but they're still going to lose Chains on the top rune spot to the combination of James, Yasim, and the Disruptor in this case. I'm sorry, I don't know the Chinese names for these players. I don't cast IMG much, and I can't read the Chinese characters.
Definitely. Well, for now, that is going to be a very high priority kill for Mortal Magneto. They really do need to keep this Nagasiren down, or at the very least, that's the best way that they can approach this game and try to take things out into their favor. Ember Spirit getting good farm towards top, going to turn that into a Drums, presumably. Medusa getting pretty much free farm inside the mid lane. A little bit less than that, but really not contested much at all by the Naga, especially after dying that once. Vengeful Spirit down towards bottom, going to need to Shockwave for her trouble. But really where it should be looking is up towards top, as they're rotating Musica, and they look for a stun, not going to connect onto anything, but the damage coming out from Quap at this point is quite immense. Let's see if it's going to pay off for them.
They're looking for the potential jump to the disruptor, but they didn't go for it there. So who do they go on? Can they really pursue the Ember? It seems they can, and now he realizes, yep, there's someone else, and immediately pings the Queen of Pain's location, realizing he hit 2 targets instead of 1.
Yeah, immediately going to start playing defensively, and that's the end of that. Queen of Pain going to go straight down towards bottom after a failed gank attempt, and that's actually a lot of lost time for the Queen of Pain firstly.
And then
They
again,
will jump, and, well, they find the Magnus kill, so, yeah, all is good in the world. I actually lacked out as soon as that happened, so it was pretty much just Quap here, and then Magnus gone.
I'm actually getting a lot of lag as well at the minute, so I can sort of see what you mean.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully it's not affecting the players at all, and in all honesty, it shouldn't be.
Yeah. Perfect World server should be fine for them. We're the ones suffering. At least I hope it's just us and not the players. They seem to be okay for the most part. And Magnus comes back into the lane in this case, and he could be killed again, but it's not exactly going to be an easy kill this close to the tower. But Musica will find himself an Invis rune right now, and we're looking for a rotation potentially towards mid. Could work out quite nicely, and I suppose... Oh, pings are coming out from Musica. Yeah, they want to go onto Yasim. Yasim is very heavily pushed up, and he does not have a Stone Gaze. He's opted for the 0440 build at level 8, so it's going to not be the most secure in terms of survivability. Then again, he does have effectively an extra 240 health when you consider the Mana Shield.
It's a lot more than 240. I think you're underestimating Mana Shield. 60% of the incoming damage is being absorbed by that, and for each point of mana, it's 2.5 points of damage. It's more than doubling her effective HP at this point. She also has the...
Oh, my math was wrong. Yeah, you're right. My math was wrong. I miscounted. But still, Godot, he's going to realize both supports are here. He doesn't have a black hole, though, which is the problem, and he might fall here to these pairings. As there's a glimpse back, he needs to get at least a kill or something here, but one more right click coming out of James should be enough. No, he doesn't get it. Instead, Yasim will. However, in comes the Queen of Pain. That's going to absolutely shred the Skywrath Mage, and Yasim is now being the Medusa threat. However, Skewer back will catch 2D, and Musica is on a killing spree right now. Can he find any more? Considering he managed to bring down the Magnus for one last scream of pain, but lose the Nyx, so it's a 2 for 2 in the long run, and now we've got the chase coming. Musica could be in some trouble, but no, he should be able to evade the Ember Spirit in this case.
And he will be able to do so. That is going to your completed drums, as we have Queen of Pain disconnecting from the game. 6-6 is our kill score. But still, Immortal Magneto are the ones finding more farm, and their kills are very heavily centralized onto their cores. 101 on the Dusa, 201 on the Ember Spirit. And the same can't be said for Can't Say Whips. The Naga Siren died once, which is super impactful. Currently, the same amount of gold in the pink as the Medusa, but Dusa has the completed phase boots.
Question for you regarding Chang. Since this is a mid lane Naga and it hasn't had that ability to farm quite as much as one would hope, do you think in this game it would be a recourse for a change of build? Instead of, say, a Radiance, a Diff Blade? We've seen how powerful diffusal blades have been today already. Do you think a diff blade in this game could work instead of the Radiance?
I don't really feel it. I don't think anything but the Radiance is going to get Naga Siren enough farm. If you really are going to be fighting early and often, maybe deciding to go for the diffusal blade is okay, as long as you're not necessarily needed to go into the late game. And I just don't see a way that CsW are going to be able to end it unless Naga Siren gets extremely fat.
I suppose. I do like a couple of the builds that involve a diff blade on a Naga, but that is more in a 3 to 4 roll Naga, depending. You can aggressive trial lane a Naga and go for the diff blade quite nicely, and in the mid lane it can vary a bit. Normally we'll just see the rush towards a Radiance, and then from there on in look to just keep lanes pushed, but he's had a rough start per se.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're going to see Enigma get very close to his level 6. This is an incredibly slow level 6 for an Enigma. Usually at this time you want to be completing up the mech, and I think I'm going to come back to it. The choice to not go into the jungle, for whatever reason, is really hurting them. Even if he thought the camps were warded, at the very least, check, because they actually dropped nothing inside the enemy woods. And if you really think your woods are taken out, maybe do Ancients, maybe go towards the other side of the map and farm up there, as long as you don't think the supports can kill you. Musica, as well as Extinct, are smoked up and looking towards top. This could be a very easy pick off onto the Disruptor if he's just going to sit here solo.
Yeah, I think that's going to be quite the easy kill there, and Godot's going to be here for the experience as well. They're just going to chase in. One more right click should seal the deal, and there's going to be no escape for that one. However, are they going to pick up any more, considering James on that Skywrath Mage has rotated nearby, and in comes the Ember Spirit? This could be quite nice. Do we have a Black Hole? No, we don't. We don't have the mana. Then again, we do have Queen of Pain with that Scream. That is huge damage burst, and there is no way an Ember can survive that.
Actually, there is. It's called the Shield, but he actually didn't level it up, so it's not going to help you there. If he went for the more standard build, I think he survives that kill. Even though the pure damage is going to be huge, the Scream wouldn't have actually impacted much at all. We are going to see 11 eat a missile from Extinct and pursued by Nyx Assassin with the fresh Vendetta.
Yeah, and well, there's going to be no way the Magnus can survive that one. That Magnus is called 11, yeah?
Yeah.
That's what the... Okay, fair enough. That's
I think
11.
so.
You think? Okay, we'll go with that.
According to Join Dota.
Okay, we'll go with that. 11 on the Magnus. I'm learning new things every day when it comes to reading other languages, so we'll flow with that one. But still, 2D, you're going to try to grab this bounty rune, making your sim maybe regret his decision. You do have Extinct lurking nearby as well, but of course, James on the flip side of that coin is lurking in the back lines, so they could look to continue this fight. But up near the top lane, we do have Godot continuing to farm up. He does have components for that mech coming online now, and he does have that black hole ready to go. So we're looking for really a good team fight where they can utilize the black hole and keep this pushed up.
Definitely. Well, for now, they do have that black hole, and we are well on our way towards the mechanism for Godot after finding himself being involved in a couple of kills and being left alone for just a little bit while he's able to farm up. Magnus RP is also online and has yet to be utilized by them, and Empower is starting to get leveled up. This Magnus is getting levels even though he has died 5 times this game.
Well, if he can get a couple more levels up, that will be absolutely perfect. And honestly, he needs that Blink Dagger. Nyx, what's he up to? He's being very aggressive by the sounds of things, looking to bring down the Disruptor. The Static Storm's, however, invested, so this is not exactly an easy one for 2D to kill. And now your sim is on the backlines, looking to just drop some damage into 2D, but... Oh, Skewer not quite going to connect, however, the Shockwave did. So now you've got 11 trying to chase down Extinct, and Extinct should be okay. He's full health, but in comes the Ember. May not be safe for long. Misses the chain combo, but now you've got Musica. Oh, this could be oh so unpleasant. RP, however, does connect, and now that Musica is in a bad way, but it just causes too much damage, and down goes the Queen of Pain. However, 2D does drop Impale, trying to buy Extinct some time to get the hell out of dodge, but can't quite manage it, and it's a double kill the way of James, and I am lagging to all sins, so can you take over, Grandis?
Absolutely. I am too. This is looking really bad. Either way, we will be able to continue on with this game. The Queen of Pain has been taken out, and really good pick out for Immortal Magneto. And they'll be able to transition us into some tier 1 tower pressure down towards bottom. They're not the fastest at pushing lineups, but they definitely can do it with the amount of manpower that's down here. Nyx currently awkwardly positioned inside the trees. He has a stun, but that's about all that he has. In 10 seconds he is going to have the Vendetta, but he's showing over towards the creeps. Other TPs coming in. We have the Queen of Pain that can blink in at a moment's notice with ultimate at the ready, and things could get very hairy very quickly. Glimpse back, however, that's going to send Queen of Pain back into the trees, thinking she's freshly TP'd in. That's not the case. We'll stun up Extinct as well as Queen of Pain with the chains, and now Extinct, dropped incredibly low by Shockwave, is going to have some bottle love from Musica.
And while all this is going on, you do have Godot's Enigma just looking to continue pushing top lane. He already has that full mechanism, so I'd like to see him in these team fights, but he's also getting gold towards that all-important Blink Dagger. And Black Hole can turn these fights on a dime. All it will take is one good Blink initiation with an Enigma, and you've just got the makings of absolute carnage right there.
Definitely. Well, they are going to start... with the Nyx Assassin on the front lines. He does have the Vendetta if things get opened up to him. He's going to stun up the Magnus from that Impale, and now they will be able to kill him off. Silence onto the Queen of Pain as well as the Vengeful Spirit. They are going to be able to kill off 2. They have dusted up 2D. 2D going to be dropped low with the Vendetta. He's trying to return as much damage as possible before falling, but it's going to be 3-1. All they get is that Magnus, and they pay for it dearly. Godot tries to join this, but now Glimpse back silenced him. He'll get the mech off, but that's all he can do, and chains are going to connect on the creeps, so don't think it matters at all. With negative earn charge onto him, as well as just a couple more right clicks, that is going to be the end of his life, and 4 for 1.
I'm not sure why Godot rotated in there. He came forward even though it was only the Nyx. I think he was trying to get in range to mech, but still, up against those 3 heroes, you don't want to be risking your life like that. And It was a kill that was avoidable, quite heavily avoidable. It was an unforced error. And now we've got TPs in. Extinct wants to start this fight all over again. In comes Musica on that Queen of Pain. If they can take this fight 2v4, I will be very surprised. They need more bodies. They need more people. RP does connect on 2. You've got 2D here as well, though. He's going to stun out 11, trying to buy some time. You've got the Carapace up, trying to do what they can. Musica will get brought back by the Glimpse and burned away by the Ember Spirit. And everyone just caught in the trees, but 3 more heroes dead in favour of IMG. This is not the fight they wanted to take, and, well, CsW, they'll lose quite a few important things for that. That's, I believe, across the extended fight, 6 heroes and a tower.
Yeah. Meantime, in Carryland, Medusa as well as Naga Siren have been farming away. And that is going to be a relic picked up by the Naga, as well as Dusa well on her way towards the Skadi, with 2 ultimate orbs already picked up for Sim. So both of them are doing admirably, although as far as immediate impact is concerned, the Skadi is going to be doing a lot more for the Medusa, although Naga Siren is going to be propelled towards some bigger and greater things.
I'll completely agree to that one. And honestly, CsW need to be a little more careful in the terms of their fights. And 2D, he's starting to stalk your Sim. If they can bring down the Naga, that'll be perfect. They catch him with the not Malefice. Malefice. They catch him with the Malefice, and now they're starting to try to bring him down. But Stone Gaze just causes so many problems. And now in comes the Ember. Oh, this is unpleasant. A DD Ember with 3 remnants. He's going to burst down whoever he can. There's a black hole. It only catches, but it's immediately cancelled by James in the back line with that Ancient Seal. And 2D, well, one more right click, he'll fall. Double kill for the Skywrath Mage in this case, and now they're going to hunt for more. Can they find anyone? Not that way, they don't. Instead, well, Musica's going to head up towards that top rune spot, grab that, and probably head towards the top lane, maybe to push it in, maybe try to force rotations away from IMG, but as it stands, IMG have complete dominance of this game, and Radiance at this point from the Naga is not enough.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. I kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, but still, this Naga needs a lot more to really get on the road, and this Medusa is currently out farming her, and that's going to maintain the case for quite a long time. That's going to be your completed Skadi at less than 20 minutes into the game, or a Sim, and this is really just going to be an immortal Medusa.
It's going to be incredibly hard to kill her with the lineup of CsW, considering how far they are behind in gold. I mean, take a look at the graph. That's a 5,000 gold lead at 18 minutes. That's going to be quite unpleasant to fight back into. Sure, they got the Naga, it's doable, but it's not going to be easy. And experience-wise, it's very much the same. That's a 7,500 experience lead the way of IMG. And now, on top of all that, Medusa with a Skadi. So,
yeah,
hard times ahead for Kansai Whips.
One of the big things that I was hoping for inside the draft was that DD would be able to get a lot done with the mana burn, but with only 1 point, although it's definitely 1 point that does a lot of work, maxing it out really seems to be super important, and it's going to be a long time before that's available. Sim's still going to be able to use his mana shield pretty effectively.
Yeah, I mean, if you really wanted a true mana warrior, you either want a Lion who is banned out or an anti-mage in this case, and personally, I feel like a Queen of Pain mid and maybe an anti-mage safe lane farming might have been a better recourse for this game.
Yeah, definitely. It could have worked out just based on the way that they're playing it. This Queen of Pain really hasn't done enough to warrant it. She's roamed around a lot, which is fine for a Quap, but really she'd like to have her Orchid done by now. If she didn't die 4 times, that could be on the cards for her, but she really needs to be able to kill off these targets from IMG, and that's just not available.
They need the silencers to lock down the Ember more than anything, who's been running amok in these fights, really. And he's level 12 now, nearly level 13, and he's not even breaking a sweat. He's got for a Yasha. He's not even going for the cleave build. He's gone for the movement speed and just sheer right-click build.
Yeah, he's going for a Manta style. Once he has the Manta, getting out of the Orchid is going to be so easy for him, and honestly, he doesn't really need to go for the Battle Fury because he has the Empower from the Magnus. The raw stats are also going to be doing quite a bit. I'm completely okay with this choice. He can always go back for damage later. He'll just have to rely on his team to carry him through the next couple minutes.
I suppose, yeah. When you think about the stats that you gain from a Battle Fury, it's just damage and regeneration, whereas a Manta gives you flat stats as well as movement speed. So I can certainly understand that choice when you consider Empower as a factor. But now it seems, Kansai Whips, they want to try to bring down your Sim. But that's not going to be easy, and they do have an RP as well. Oh, blink away before the 2D Nyx Assassin can really do much, but, well, they're going to look to bring down Yasim. If they can kill him, that would be perfect. I don't see any... Oh, there's the Stone Gaze with the last of his mana. I was about to say, I don't think he'll get it off in time, but no. TP out by Yasim, and again, wasted time trying to bring down a nigh impossible to kill target. However, Musica now has his Orchids, so this can certainly work on the next attempt, assuming there is no BKB.
Yeah, very unfortunate. There's a booster travel now for the Naga Siren, so Chains is going to be reaching towards that full Naga Siren potential fairly soon. Once you get that Manta Style as well as Heart, you can always be a nuisance to the enemy team. For now, these illusions are fairly easy for IMG to deal with and bring down, so they won't be able to pressure out the lanes as much as maybe they'd like to, but still, the Naga's farming, and that's problematic for IMG.
It's very problematic, and considering the Naga, what is he going to go for? He's got his Travels, he's got his Radiance. Do you think this is a BKB Manta game, or do you think he can omit the BKB from the build?
I think he can omit the BKB from the build. I think...
Oh, Chains in a bad way. RP just for Chains, all for him, and there's just no way he's surviving that way. Not with the Skadi, not with all of that damage being thrown in, as well as the Skywrath Mage being present. So this could be an easy tier 2, potentially, when the creep wave gets it, but it could be a traded tier 2, considering how low this one is on the top lane. So even trade, possibly? I think this is going to be a TP back, though, immediately after this tower falls, or is it? Musica and Extinct are continuing to push. Maybe they're looking to force TP reactions. Instead, no, they're going towards bottom lane for Musica, and mid lane they're going to let concede. So an equal trade in terms of towers.
Yeah, as far as raw numbers are concerned, they're still going to stay mid, however, forcing the CsW back and the tier 2 tower down towards bottom. It's going to take a little bit of damage in the meantime. We have the Black Hole, however, and CsW might be able to look for a fight, but the Blink Skewer, they found themselves the next. He's going to be able to get the Carapace off, and the ultimate for Queen Pain lands onto 3. But with no further fault, but it's just going to be a clean pick-off after some nice play coming out from the Mag.
And now you've got Godot. Godot's been going for the BKB now, and I can completely understand why, but not having the Blink Dagger, it's a very hard call to make, in all honesty. The Blink Dagger would be really nice in terms of getting a good Black Hole, but there are just too many ways to cancel the Black Hole in this case. Well, Static Storm is one. You've got technically RP if it lands on the Enigma, but that's not to cancel it, really. That's just to stop it before it happens. You've got Ancient Seal. Ember Spirit is there. I mean, there are so many ways to interfere with the Black Hole. I believe Searing Chains interrupts Black Hole since it interrupts TPs and other channels.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's just unpleasant right now, and I can certainly understand the warrant for the BKB, but it does mean it'll be longer until the Enigma is completely online. But Smoke now, we're looking for some form of fight, possibly for IMG. Who do they go on, though? I mean, the Naga is farming all of the camps in the jungle. If they can get the real Naga, this is huge. Chains could be in a very bad way. RP on an illusion! Oh! Mistakes were made.
Yes. Yes, they were. Okay, so that might look really, really bad. What happened there is that Naga was standing over here, and then she popped the smoke. So they expected Naga to be farming one of these camps. They blink over here, and he's like, oh, our smoke popped. There's a Naga. I can RP. But, alas, the real Naga was towards the right.
It's a 50-50 chance. You have to toss the coin. But it seems Roshan is going to be the order of business here for the IMG lineup. And if they can get Roshan, that's certainly going to be very nice. But I'm going to just refer to the graphs once again. 7.5k gold leaders start to peter off a bit in favor of IMG, and experience-wise, this is a big thing. 12,000 experience in favor of IMG. That is quite a few level advantage going in the way of IMG, and certainly a big problem for Kansai Whips.
Definitely. Ember Spirit, in the meantime, dies to the Queen of Pain up towards top with some help from the Nyx Assassin. Manta Style not going to help him there. In fact, he wasn't even able to get it off. I suppose it is space created for the Aegis to be taken by the rest of IMG, however, and if Medusa wasn't hard enough to bring down once, they're going to have to do it twice in the next fight.
Well, killing her once alone, I don't think they'll manage. I think she's going to keep that Aegis until that time's out near enough, unless they have a full rotation and then invest everything into her. Or we get a good Black Hole, and I still haven't seen one that has had that maximum effect, but they will pick off that disruptor in the mid lane. The Black Hole's actually on a 160-second cooldown. Did I miss a use of it?
I think it was for the Ember Spirit kill.
Okay, fair enough. If they got the kill with it, that's absolutely fine. I mean, Black Hole is a hard one to judge sometimes. So we're looking for just pressure on the mid lane, it seems, and Ysim trying to deal with these relentless aggression of the illusions here. But part of me wonders what the Naga's next item's going to be, considering we already have that Yeshua. It seems to be a straight Manta.
Yeah.
Manta into Diffusal into something. You should think Heart is someone going to be on that list.
Yeah.
Manta
I'd
to
just
Heart.
say, like, Manta, Heart, and the Butterfly.
Yeah, that makes some sense.
Yeah, just the standard build. I don't think there's any real reason to deviate from that. They are hunting onto Godot. They find him with the chains. With the Scotty to run him down, this is going to be a pretty easy kill. Even through the mechanism, they'll be able to make a killing spree for Sim.
Yeah, Ysim just managing to maintain a good level of aggression in this game. He's 3-0-4 right now. Skadi, Manta, Aquila. This is quite the strong showing from the Medusa in this game, and part of me wonders what the Medusa's going to build next.
Yeah, definitely. It's something to bring up for the Medusa. I think at this point you can probably just get away for going with raw damage. MKP preemptively going up against the Butterfly from Nagasarn could be decent. Just having that raw damage for a split shot could be really good. Maybe even just Daedalus. I'm not sure there's really anything that Medusa needs to get after this.
I can understand that. Part of me wants to say go for a Scythe of Ice on a Medusa. That helps you tank up fairly well considering your mana shield. But right now Ysim, well, he's going to take a bit of mana warfare and harassment. But Ysim doesn't particularly care considering he still has that Aegis of Immortality. But now where's Godot? He still doesn't have Black Hole for 40 seconds, and now comes the Song of the Siren. They're going to look to set this one up. A good Impale can make this or break this. But I don't see this fight working out very well, as there's the RP coming in from 11, and everything just went so horribly wrong. It's a monster kill for James on that Skywrath Mage. It's a dominating spree for Ysim. They needed the Black Hole. They really did.
Honestly, I think that was super, super hopeful. The Nyx Assassin Impale was okay, but then what? There really wasn't anything. The Queen of Pain wasn't able to follow up and still really isn't doing anything. Sitting on the back lines, Musica might be able to catch somebody on the flank, but they've already lost their melee barracks, and their range barracks are soon to fall after. Queen of Pain Courier Snipe? Maybe, just maybe, but yeah, not sure what the idea is here for Musica. It's a very lame mechanism for the Skywrath Mage, and they should be able to continue going. They still have that Aegis on the Medusa, not even dropped low. They'll be able to fish him, and my goodness, this Magnus play has been pretty on point. Being able to just snag him like, I'm not even sure like what, just really easy to pull them out.
Usually we don't akin Magnus to SEA or Asian Dota, but in this case 11 is just delivering. Now Musica going toe to toe with James on that Skywrath Mage, and Musica should be able to get this kill, but can he escape? He should be able to. Yeah, he's gone. And now you've still got everyone else doing good damage on the flip side of the coin. However, Ember just chewing through the Kansai Whips lineup, and now, well, Ysim just goes high ground. He doesn't particularly care at this point. I think this is going to be a case of rotation for a tier 2, however. They need to at least get another set of racks. I don't think going straight for the throne is really advisable.
No, it's definitely not. Because the tier 2 tower is still up, they aren't going to be able to do so immediately. But then again, it's going to be fast enough. They just fall back, push out these side lanes, and things are looking wonderfully for them. Yeah.
Yeah, Immortal Magneto Gaming are just doing so much work in this one, and maybe unorthodox or in some ways odd builds, but considering their lineup, it just works so well. I mean, now we've got a Battle Fury as well onto the Ember Spirit, so Ember Spirit, Battle Fury plus Empower, the cleave is going to be oh so painful. In fact,
really will.
Is he going to try to go toe-to-toe here? Yes, he is. He tries to go into Musica. That cleave hurts. That really does. And it's only the beginning. Chains could be in a bad way if he's not careful. I mean, all it will take is a chains, and you do have 11 lurking nearby, and an Invisarune does have that RP ready to go. Oh, this could be so painful. All it will take is... Oh, or he could go for the Courier, but no. The Invisarune time out here, and Chains, he needs to do something, but 11's going to have to skewer out the side, and in the main part of the fight, Extinct does get silenced up. James, however, will drop a Mystic Flare before he gets picked off by Tootie, and Musica is trying to go toe-to-toe with the Ember Spirit, but that's not something that he can really do. He needs to get the hell out of dodge, and Chains, in the meantime, will bring down the Disruptor, but still, advantage CSW? What the hell happened here? Do they have the black hole? Yes, they do, but they can't really fight the Ember that easily when Yasim starts to rotate in on that Medusa.
Yeah, I think what happened is that Medusa just wasn't involved in that at all. They'll find a Nyx Assassin on the end of it, and to top it all off, Magnus also RP'd just onto illusions of the Naga Siren. They're going to turn for the Ember, and he is going to be denied by the Deuces. They do drop that slow. Well played by Sim. It's going to be a mega kill for him as he also mops up the Nyx Assassin.
Insane play there out of Yasim to deny his ally like that. Very, very good presence of mind to realize the Shadow Strike was present, and now in comes an attempt onto Yasim. Black Hole, they're investing everything. They need to kill him, but look how tanky he is. This is not going to be an easy feat. Still, there is no Aegis right now, so it will be done, but how many ults were invested right there? I saw not Wave of Terror. I saw Sonic Wave. I saw Black Hole. That was quite the investment.
Everything not Song, as far as the heroes that were still alive. And if they had Vendetta, you bet your boot that they would have dropped that extra damage into the Medusa. They need everything to kill her, and just imagine Medusa's actually fighting with her team. It gets absurd, and yeah, they just need to do that, because Immortal Magneto, that last fight was quite honestly just a little bit messy. Well, they didn't need to take that.
They didn't need to take that, but I suppose they'll take what they can get. Now, we got the BKB online for the Enigma. I really would like to see a Blink Dagger from him next, which will probably be the next thing to do. Chains, he's going to opt for the Diffusal Blade, not for the Heart straight away. I like this, because this is going to chew through the Mana Shield of the Medusa. Dealing with the Medusa's Mana Shield is really something that has to be done, and this is why I mentioned the Scythe of Ice for the Medusa would be a really nice thing. More mana, as well as a good use effect, the Hex in this case. And I'm just trying to consider other ways that CSW can really deal with said Mana Shield, since that Mana Shield is such an incredible tool for survivability, as words fail me. It's hard one to think mathematically about, since as this fight goes on, Yasim is just going to get scarier and scarier. They need to chew through that Mana Shield something fierce.
Definitely. And they are getting the tools to do so, but they are also a barracks down. Immortal Magneto, I think right now they just need to look for those tier 2 towers, so that they can open the ability to go high ground again. Next, Roshan is going to be respawning in a little bit more than a minute, about a minute 20, till we see the big man back up and running, so they can't have another Aegis. If they have an Aegis on the Medusa, killing off the second time really is impossible, as we've already seen. It pretty much takes everything in the kitchen sink to do her off once.
Yeah. I'm wondering, can you remember if there was a Midnight Pulse down?
There was.
Wow. There was Midnight Pulse down and it still took that long. Holy hell.
It's impressive how much damage she can actually take before actually falling. Tier 2 tower up to a stop is going to be the order of business for the Dire's side. The Dire's Courier also, or rather, excuse me, not the Dire's Courier. I'm just super tired. Either way, they are going to also get the... What's actually happening? I don't know.
You've been awake a long time, I know, man. I'll cover. Don't worry, I got this. Still, they're going to start sieging on this top tier 2, and honestly, I'm looking for the response from CSW. They need a good response. They have that black hole available. That's going to be the most important thing in this next fight. Thing is the lockdown going to be enough in dealing with Yasim? Let alone Yasim, the entire lineup. Ember is starting to come online in a big way, has a Manta, has that Battle Fury, as well as having constant Empower. You've got, of course, RP, Static Storm, Ancient Seal. So many problems here for CSW to deal with, and well, Lincoln's is another one for Yasim. Still, 2D will pop that Lincoln's and does take some damage for his efforts, and now in comes the Song of the Siren. Godot looking to position for that black hole. Does have that BKB black hole to be commit. Song goes down. That's on 3. RP, however, will instantly cancel that. Godot gets caught as well. That's a really bad fight for CSW to take, all off the back of that RP hitting on Godot. Now just look at Yasim, tear through everyone. 2D going to most likely go down again. Jens takes some damage, will get all of his mana burned away. One more right click won't kill him from the Enigma, but you've still got the big 3 cores, the Magnus, the Medusa, and the Ember, all still healthy and all still looking to siege that tier 3.
I don't think they're going to be sticking around for much more. Medusa is pretty low on mana, and they have to deal with bottom, and Ember Spirit's way too low to actually stick around. They could have refreshed him up inside the base and then brought him in with a Remnant, but still, it's going to be Immortal Magneto being content with how that last fight went, and will pull back. Really good play coming out from the Magnus to cancel that BKB Black Hole. It was layered a little bit long, or too long for comfort, and well, that's going to be now Immortal Magneto going into the Roshan pit without dealing with the Black Hole. This fight is pretty darn easy for them, and Medusa and Ember Spirit can pretty much take it by themselves.
Yeah, and with another Aegis guy in the way of Immortal Magneto, this is going to be quite problematic for CSW. And I'm honestly wondering if CSW can fight into this enough, considering in comes the Illusions, just to cause some harassment and make Immortal Magneto at least think twice. Or, well, I don't think they even thought twice about that. They'll just continue their march under Roshan. But still, let's take a quick look at the graphs and just take a gander at how much this game has shifted. It's only an 8,000 gold lead. It honestly feels like more, but experience-wise, that's a 10,000 experience lead. And if I look at net worth, Medusa with 21.8k net worth. Second at 20.8k. Only 1k behind is the Naga Siren, but Naga Siren is nowhere near as tanky. Doesn't have a heart either, which is a big problem. If we had a heart on chains, maybe. And I think that's what he's going to pick up now. I'm expecting a purchase of a Reaver, selling the bottle. At least I would hope so. He's certainly thinking about it. He sold something. Yeah, he got the Reaver. So as long as we got that Reaver, all is good.
He is going to part ways with the Aquila. Not sure if that's the right call here. We'll just have to see how that plays out. If he's able to bottle himself up a double damage rune, could be pretty clutch.
If they can get a double damage rune, that can work. But still, that is a tall order, and they still have to deal with the uber tanky Yasim. I mean, they've got the mana burn now, but they need, when they use the black hole, to catch 11 on that Magnus. If 11 can stay outside of a black hole, well, it's an absolute nightmare. We saw how the positioning was for that RP in the previous fight. If 11 can repeat that over and over again, I don't see CSW being able to hold this, but I'm not going to count any team out before GG is called, so Naga Siren continuing to tank up, and Dyer's Courier goes down. What was on that Courier? The Testament of Evasion. That's going to keep your Sim's Butterfly offline for at least 3 minutes. That's pretty damn major.
It definitely is. Really solid pickup. Where did it actually die, however? Let's see. It was picked off probably by Naga Siren Illusions.
Yeah, that honestly surprises me, but pings from CSW actually say they know that the support are there. They know they've got the Magnus. They're skewered back though. That's going to be big. It was the black hole. Doesn't quite have it, so it can't get the cast off. But now in comes the Song of the Siren. It's after the Stone Gaze, however, so this is going to buy some time. But still, you've got the Ember Spirit who's free of the Song, looking to charge down Godot on that Enigma. If the Song actually held the Ember as well, that would be perfect. But now there's the glimpse back, and he's not going to be able to survive that one as the Ember Spirit picks up the dominating spree. And without the Enigma, this is going to be a very hard fight to take. James does take some damage from the Riptide and the burn from the Radiance, but Enigma does have a buyback, so they can look to try to get back into this one. There's the buyback. Do we have that Blink Dagger? No, we don't. So it's up to, say, Song of the Siren to start this one up as a glimpse back onto 2D. Going to buy some time. Does get stunned out by the Carapace. So now we've got the rotation back in. Musica looking to set up on this one as well. Does have all of that pure damage, but still, tier 3 goes down, and this is the second set of racks that are starting to fall. Musica just getting harassed. He's getting burned away by the chains, and still, they're losing racks, and they just can't hold it right now. The Illusions from the Naga are doing everything they can, and Chains does pick up the dominating in the back line by Illusions alone. Now we've got the Song of Siren. Oh, this is a big one. This is a big one. However, they need that Magnus dealt with. If the Magnus gets an RP off, this will be huge. But where's the Enigma? Godot just doesn't have the range to, the time to get in range of the black hole. And now everyone is burning. Godot comes forward, threatening with the black hole, but RP's used, only brings down Godot, or only catches Godot. It doesn't even kill him off. Do we have the black hole? We do, but he's not using it. They don't need to. Yasim has no more mana left. They're going to use it on the second life. This is the all-important one. The Illusions are there. They're going to try to burn through her as quickly as possible. Stone Gaze, however, is going to prevent Godot from doing anything at all, and Yasim just buys some time. However, the Stone Gaze wears off, and he has no mana. Black Hole's spent. This is going to be a 5-for-nothing trade in favor of Can't Say Whips. They can still fight, and they've just proven it.
That was exactly what they needed to have happen. Anything short of that fight just doesn't cut it. They were able to peel away everybody, and although I thought it would be pretty disastrous that Godot wasn't able to get immediately into position to follow up after that Song of the Siren, it ends up working out as they kill everybody. On the backlines, the Naga Illusions killing up the Skarath Mage by themselves. They land several pretty clutch impales and are just able to pull out what seemed to be the impossible fight. And the biggest news for them is that Mortal Magneto were going for the melee barracks, and they weren't actually able to take them. So those are going to regen up. Nothing's actually lost. And bigger than that, we have the Heart of Tarask now up on the Naga Siren. Medusa is still topping her in the net worth, and that's scary and all, but that career pickoff, I think, is really what made that fight. With the Butterfly, things might not be looking so rosy for CsW.
Yeah, the thing is, take a look at those graphs. That is such a change of pace. Those items that will be picked up now could be the game breakers. Most importantly, Godot has money for a Blink Dagger. Something that I have been wanting to see for quite a while, and if we get that Blink Dagger on Godot, I don't think he's going to have a problem anymore. Then again, if we take a look, Musica, he comes in and they're going to bring down the Ember, or are they? He manages to get mech'd up off the sideline. He managed to Remnant down, so he actually gets out of there on no health, which is quite the ballsy thing, to be honest. I honestly expected the Ember to die, but 2D, he's going to get himself a DD rune. He's guarding it at least. Yeah, he's going to get the DD rune on the Nyx. And we could be looking for another pickoff, but Musica still is quite the threat. He has a Scythe of Ice, an Orchid, and the BKB himself on the Queen of Pain, so we could certainly be looking for a pickoff. It is all within the realm of possibility. Of course, it's going to all depend on how quickly Immortal Magneto can respond. As take a look at what this illusion is doing. The Disruptor just not having a fun time at all. He's going to have to hobble back. That damage that the Disruptor took was all an illusion, quite literally.
Definitely. Yeah, that kill should have gone out in the Ember Spirit previously. The Nyx Assassin actually missed his impale when they were going for that, which is very unfortunate. But still, Nyx Assassin going to be on the hunt again with Vendetta. Double damage rune is just worn off for him, so he's not going to have that for the fight. But, well, let's see. Right now, Kansei Whips, they've managed to stem the bleeding and are able to now put the pressure onto Immortal Magneto's side of the map. And one of the biggest issues for Immortal Magneto right now is that they don't have the greatest damage outside of the Empower. Right now, the Daedalus for Medusa could be very important. I suppose speaking of Daedaluses, we do have one on the Ember Spirit, which is much needed, and it's been a long time in coming.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. And part of me wants to say the Medusa next, after the heart. I really want to see a Butterfly in her, but she needs an MKB. She really does. I mean, considering the Butterfly onto Yasim is bloody tanky. He's got 2.6k health, 1.8k mana, which is 60% of that is going to just add to effective health, effectively. And on top of that has evasion. I mean, how much more tanky can you get, really? The effective health is probably near like 5 to 6k.
Yeah, if you don't count in the Diffusal Blade burning the mana as well as the mana burn from the Nyx, which does quite a large chunk. We'll have to see how much he's actually able to take as far as punishment is concerned inside these fights, but it is very ridiculous. Immortal Magneto, they still definitely have a decent shot at this game, but it does feel like things are starting to go the Naga Siren's way, at the very least, as far as the current state of game.
Yeah, the supports are just burning down to the Radiance, and that's the important thing. It takes down the Skywrath Mage and the Disruptor. Those two heroes could be the linchpin of any fight with the Ancient Seal and, most importantly, with the Static Storm. I mean, we haven't really seen very many Static Storms because the Disruptor's been focused lately, but Static Storm can make or break a fight very easily, and 2D, he's hunting. If he finds James or the Disruptor, that could easily be a kill. Then again, he's going to find Yasim, and that's not something he really wants to mess with. Or is it? They're going to go for it. If they can kill this Juicer, that's going to be huge, and I don't see them having the damage. Then again, they have that mana burn. Now in comes the Stone Gaze, and, well, maybe I underestimated the amount of mana burn they actually have, considering she's down to 300, 400 mana, so it's doable with maybe one or two extra people. But the pair of them I don't think can kill a Medusa at any point. But that did put Stone Gaze on cooldown, so that's at least one good thing the way of Immortal Magneto.
Okay, so the mana burn is burning 625 mana and doing the same in damage, which burns effectively like 900 hit. A little bit less than that, but it's still super significant. On a 4-second cooldown, Mana Shield just isn't a reliable way to keep Deuce alive. She's still tanky, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I definitely think Nyx deserves a little bit more credit than we kind of gave him earlier.
Yeah, I suppose it was more because he went for a build that involved very low points in the mana burn in the early game, so maybe I'm underestimating it for that reason. But it seems Roshan is in the cards for Immortal Magneto, so if they can get themselves an Aegis as well, this is going to be very nice. But who do they put said Aegis on? I'm guessing, yeah, they put it on Yasim again. He's going to drop his TP scroll for it. But then again, if Roshan gets contested, this could work out, but the Kansai Whips lineup is far too spread out for any attempt, really, to defend Roshan.
Yeah, they do have that dream fight inside the Roche Pit with the song into the black hole, into the sonic wave over the top of everything. But yeah, it is just going to be a Roshan conceded, as Sim is going to get that second life, and they also have a cheese with this Roshan. Picked up by the Magnus for now.
Well, cheese on Magnus is at least going to help out, but if he gets caught in a black hole, I don't think it's going to do all that much. Then again, we do have Magnus leading the charge. 11 wants to try to potentially get RP maybe and skewer back 2D, but no, I think it's going to be a case of they're going to go for the tier 2 instead. They're going to cut the creep wave. In comes the defense, though. We do have 3 heroes lurking nearby, including Chains, and both Musica as well as Extinct have TPs and can get there to fight very quickly. So maybe a defense at a tier 2? No, they're going to concede the tier 2 and defend at the tier 3. And ultimately, I think that's a much better idea, considering it's very hard to defend this tier 2, considering the dire side have to fight from the low ground.
Yeah, definitely. For now, it looks like both teams are postured to potentially look for a trade. Both teams are going to be playing chicken, and right now, it's Kansai Whips that don't want to be fighting. They want to pressure out these lanes as much as they can with the illusions of the Naga, and keep Immortal Magneto at bay. Immortal Magneto, however, not going to make that an easy task. This Naga illusion tanking quite a bit, but they still have more than enough of a creep wave to put some hurt into this tier 3.
Yeah, tier 3 is going to take a good chunk of damage, specifically from your Sim. But top lane, how much damage are they getting? None on the enemy tier 3. So in comes the rotation. The defense is here. They're going to lose their tier 3, though, and that's going to be a huge problem. Extinct TP'd outside the base, so looking to do what they can, but they turn on the split shot, and just look how much damage 2D and the rest take. In comes the Stone Gaze, and this is so problematic here. And Godot, he needs to try to get initiation. He still doesn't have a blink DAC. He's got 4,000 gold and doesn't have a blink, but now in comes the Song of the Siren. They're going to look to set up off the back of that one, but everyone is so spread out. This is going to be oh so hard to catch a black hole on. It gets the 2 major heroes, though, just 2 cores. The RP misses. It doesn't connect onto the Enigma of Godot, but it doesn't matter. Yasim is just tearing everyone to pieces, as well as the double kill onto the Disruptor. So this should ideally be another set of racks in favor of Immortal Magneto, but Chains are still alive. Extinct is there. They have the buyback on the Enigma, but he doesn't have another black hole. So it's now 2 sets of racks deficit, and the final set of racks is exposed here for Immortal Magneto, so they can start to rotate and get some pressure going on that. Kansai Whips, they just didn't have the damage potential or the early game potential to deal with Yasim's Medusa, it seems like, and they're going to lose their final set of racks. That's going to be mega creeps. But of course, this is game 1 of a best of 2 between these 2 teams.
Definitely. I think that pretty much sums it up. Even though, theoretically, Nagasaki can hold against Mega Creeps, finishing the game against Mega Creeps is just so much harder. Look at that Venge's HP, my goodness. When he dropped incredibly low, though not finished off, we still have the double life for Dusa. They haven't even put a dent into his Sim. The Disruptor not going to be so lucky. His Change notches himself a mega kill streak, looking for the Song, living on double digits HP. He is going to be able to survive and run towards the rest of his base.
Sleight of Fist. Not quite.
Not gonna hit. Yeah.
I was expecting that Sleight of Fist to actually just clean up, but not quite enough range. But in comes Studi, just looking at her ass. At this point, Megas are starting to bear down, though. And Musica trying to do what he can. Still, look how tanky this Medusa is. And now in comes another Stone Gaze. Wow.
Could this Medusa die if she wanted to? Musica is going to be dropped low. The split shot's still going to work. They have the second life on a Sim, mind you. Even though she's completely out of mana, still tanking it up admirably. Godot dropping low to the split shot, going to be coming back with a vengeance. Buyback from the Ember Spirit. Do they have a Remnant close? They're going to RP onto Chains, and this might be it. With the second RP, he is going to spend it, and that is going to be the end of Nagasaren's life. Although they have buyback, doesn't actually matter. They're probably going to spend it, but it really feels like this is GG.
Yeah, there is really no comeback from this one. I think they might just go for it just for the sake of going for it. Sim, they want to kill the Naga. They really want. Sorry, they want to kill the Medusa. They really want to kill the Medusa, but Sim, he is just so damn tanky. He will take a fall eventually, but in come the Mega Creeps. I don't see this one. I don't see it being turned around on, but I suppose it is a Naga.
No, I don't see it either. It really will take a miracle. With all 5 of the illusions of the Naga Siren attacking onto the Dusa with the Diffusal, they can focus down the Dusa when she's alone. But when she has backup, it's another story entirely.
You say it'll take a miracle. Just out of comic here. You've got a Medusa... Sorry, when you think miracle, what hero do you think of?
I think of Enigma.
What?
Wait.
The player.
The player?
Miracle, the player. What hero do you associate with him?
Naga Siren.
There we go.
I thought you were talking about Miracle, and I was
Brandis.
thinking Miracle 5-man fight.
Brandis, you need some coffee, man.
I really do.
That went over your head so heavily. Usually
really
jokes go over my head, not your head.
It wasn't even a joke.
Been a long evening. What are we at now? 6 hours 15 of casting, and it's still not over.
No. It's definitely not. We do have another game going on as well on our other channels. If you are interested, we are going to have, I believe, Mineski versus King, and that's going to be on twitch.tv/HeflaTV too, if you're interested.
Still, from where we sit, it seems like we're just waiting for... They're really trying it. I mean, is this the game that decides if Kansai Whips are eliminated? Because if that's the case, I can understand them giving it their all.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Fair enough. Still.
It definitely is nothing to joke about, though. This is a really huge tournament. I can understand them playing it out. I think, really, the only chance that they have is that they
get a miracle black hole.
Yeah, that's really what they need. And right now, Godot, I think, at this point, buy a
blink dagger.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a blink all game, and I was advocating for one early on. I really was.
Yeah, if there wasn't Nyx Assassin on his team, I might even consider buying a Shadowblade in his position, just because it's not expected. And you just have an Invis Enigma coming out from nowhere, but... yeah, that's not gonna work. It's just Blink Dagger or nothing. Right now, Immortal Magneto going to go straight for the throne. There is going to be a song. They have an opening for this black hole. It's going to be enough. They ping out the Magnus. Can they actually get anything done with this? Black hole is going to be down to 2. The BKB's popped on the Dusa before the black hole is actually cast. They'll be able to get the Sonic Wave over the top. The damage just isn't there. They drop down Godot. They refresh onto the Magnus. He's not able to cast the secondary RP, but Dusa is going to town. If she really wanted to, could just focus down the throne. It looks like that's exactly what a sim is going to do. Even the music is low. Going to deny the Magnus as well. The second denial of that same hero, this game, and the sim. Should be able to seal the deal, and this is going to be GG in game number 1.
Yeah, that was much longer than I thought it would be after the Mega Creeps, but still, there is a second game of this, and, well, we get no breaks here on HeflaTV. We will be back momentarily.
Definitely. Okay, so see you soon. We will have game number 2 up shortly.